Hello, Redhawks. In our video today, we're going to be looking at Kaltura. Specifically, we will be looking at the quiz option, how to create a quiz, and how to make it a gradable assignment within Canvas. Then we also will dig into a couple of other features like the analytics options that you can access to see the various engagement metrics on videos that you create and use in your course, and also a little bit on how you can have students use Kaltura to submit work within Canvas as well. So to get started, we'll go ahead and select a course. We do have another video on Kaltura using Capture and the My Media course, and I'll link that in the description so you can go check that out if you'd like. But if you remember from that video, when we go to our My Media link, it doesn't matter what course we're in, those are linked to our account, not to a course. So for intensive purposes of this video, I'm going to go ahead and just use a video that I already created to show you how to get the quiz feature working. So what I need to do is select my video, and I'm going to go over to the pencil icon, which is the edit, and then it will bring my video up. And I'm going to go ahead and click over here on the right side on Launch Editor. Mine's showing up this warning screen because I have captions involved already. It's better to get everything finished within your video and then put captions on at the end. This is just basically telling me that if I do edit the video from here, because the editor and the quiz option are the same location, if I do make edits at this point, then it's going to mess with my captions, which that's okay. I'm only going to put the quiz on top, which won't affect anything. So I'll say okay. And then by default, it's usually on video editor. So you have to click up on this cube icon, and that will take you into the quiz editor. It's going to go ahead and say press start to create a new quiz. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The message also let us know that it creates a copy. So the original video will stay as it is. So you could use the video in a standalone situation, or you also have the version with the quiz. You'll see up here it has this quiz tag. Once I am here, if I'm looking at just making the quiz and adding questions, I would obviously navigate to the point in the quiz that I would like to put some information in. So I'll just randomly select this area, and then I'm going to click the Add Question button. And you'll see you'll have four options: multiple choice and true false, pretty straightforward and explanatory. We'll put a couple of those in there. You can add a reflection point. This is good for if you want them to stop and maybe do something that's not part of the quiz. Maybe you want them to take some notes, write down their thoughts, whatever it might be. It's also good for if you realize maybe you made a mistake in the video, and instead of going back and re-recording the entire thing, you can put a reflection point in there. And then it can pop up with maybe you had the wrong answer in the video initially. Maybe something's changed since you recorded the video and you want to add a little more context. Those are all good uses for a reflection point. And then open-ended questions. You can use those as well. One thing I do want to point out at this point, if you're going to use this as a graded assignment within Canvas, because you could just create this and not grade it, just have it there for the student's benefit. But if you do make it a graded assignment, it will grade multiple choice and true false based off the answers you give. Obviously, reflection points wouldn't have anything to grade. Open-ended questions, there is no ability for you to grade them, so you can't assign those for points. You could collect feedback. You might have an open-ended question at the end of a section or into the video asking for some information. What do you still have questions about? What do you feel like you understand well? Maybe you can get that feedback, so then you can kind of guide yourself with that information as you move on with your course. But just keep in mind, you cannot assign points. It will show that it gives them a point for this, but it doesn't matter what they put. They could type a period and it will give them the point, or they could type a very long answer and it will give them the point. And there's no way to override that. So just keep that in mind when you're creating these. We'll go ahead and create a multiple choice, and very simple and straightforward. You type in your question at the top, and then you put in your answers. If you need to add more, you can do that. And then we're going to go ahead and click on Save. And you'll see the question pops up down here. Maybe I want to advance a little bit more, add another question, true, false. And select which is the correct answer, true or false. and it will embed there. Let's say here at the end, I wanted to add an open-ended. I just put it in my prompt, save, and then just so we can see a reflection point real quick, I'll add one in, and here's where you could just type in whatever content. Once I'm finished, I can go ahead to preview, and it'll tell me I want to download or if I want to start my quiz. And then you can see as I jump ahead, I can select my answers, play. The way I have it set up now, it's allowing me to skip around. If I'd like to, I come back. Here we see our prompt, and then finally our reflection point. It just would have the information on the screen that we could continue through. So that's what that looks like, and then we can go ahead and we can click on Done. And now we can go back to the media page, or we can edit quiz. We're going to go ahead and edit just because I want to show a couple other features real quick. Down the side here, you'll see you have option for details. This would be so you could rename, and then if you wanted to have some sort of a message, maybe you want to introduce the content a little bit or give some directions, you could do that. Allow download list of questions. This will allow students to download a PDF of all the questions in the video. So if they wanted to keep track or preview them or have them to use for review, you could do that. If you don't want them to be able to do that, then you could just uncheck that box, and then any instructions that you would want to give, you can turn that on and off there. Scores, this allows you to set up how this is going to work. So if you, let's say you had a quiz with 5 questions and you wanted them to go through until they got all the questions right, you could allow them to take multiple attempts on the quiz. You could just say, maybe if you really want to see if it's a check for knowledge kind of thing and see where they're at without being able to go back, you could ask them not to show the scores, and then they just get a message that says thank you after they submit. And then you can also include answers for the questions so they can see correct and incorrect. So if you wanted them to take it multiple times, you would want to obviously uncheck that. And then the last part is the experience. This allows them to go back and change answers if you want to. If you wanted to lock them in, you could. Skip was that option we saw as we were going through if you want them to be able to skip over and go back, or you could not allow skip. And then the last option is no seeking forward. You do need to click do not allow skip in order for that to happen. And then you can check that box as well. So they won't be able to see the bar to navigate past that point. So that would lock them into watching the entire video. I'm going to go ahead and click on done. And I'm going to go back to the media page. We'll go ahead and click on my media. And you'll see I have my original video here, and then I have the quiz that I created here as well. So now that it's created, how can I use it? I can go through and embed that in any place that I normally would. If I do want it to be a graded assignment, then I'm going to need to go ahead and create an assignment like I would for any other assignment. So I'll click on my assignments on the left in my course navigation. I'm going to go ahead and click on assignment. I'm going to name it Kaltura. This is where any instructions would need to go. And then I need to go down to external tool if it's not already selected, and then click find. And then I'm going to scroll down until I find Kaltura video quiz. From there, it will pull up my media. From there, you can select the quiz you want to use. The nice thing about this is it won't show the video, so you can't accidentally put a video in there. It'll only show the ones that have a quiz file. Go ahead and click select, and then I can go ahead and set the assignment up as usual. I can set my points, what assignment group I wanted to go into, how many attempts, due dates, everything like that. I'll go ahead and go and save and publish since I have it already. Then I'll be able to see the assignment that I created. You'll see the videos here. Just like any assignment, I can go back and change settings and go into the speed grader. We'll go ahead and real quick switch to the student view. So I'm going to go into that same course. As a student, I'm going to go down to my assignments. And then that one was this my media quiz. And then from there, I can go ahead and click. I'll see I have my pretest available because I didn't uncheck that box. the instructions, go and click on continue, and it'll go through. Once from the video, I have it enabled so that we can skip ahead, see what the student sees, and I can go ahead and jump ahead to question. I'm going to answer A and then select. I'll go ahead and jump ahead to the next one. I'll say true, select. Jump here to the end. I'm just going to type in my answer, save, and then finally I'll get to my checkpoint and click continue. Once in the video, I get this completed, and it says take a moment to review if you like, or you can go ahead and submit. I'm going to go ahead and submit. I can review this if I'd like to, and then I'm finished with the assignment. So now when I go to grades as the student, so once I'm into grades, I can scroll down, and as a student see that I got 25 out of 50, so I missed one of the 2 questions. So that's how the student side of things looks. The second feature that we want to talk about and cover in this video is looking at the analytics options for our videos. So again, I'm in my course, I've gone to my media, and I'll see all my videos, and then next to the pencil icon that we use to edit and create our quiz, we have a little graph that will show the analytics for the video in question. Here I can go through and change when I want to see the impression time for. So this by default will show last 30 days, but maybe you want to see for a more specific time frame, the last week, or you want to see what it looks like over the year. You could even compare it with, year to year, what the views are on a video look like. At the top here, it's going to show us player impressions. That just means how many times this video has been on someone's screen. Play means they've actually clicked on play. Unique viewers, this just shows you how many people actually viewed it. One student might have watched it 12 times, so you see how many people have actually clicked on it, how much of the video they viewed, and then what the average completion rate is, how many people make it all the way to the end. If you created a quiz and locked them in, then obviously that video, or that's going to be more likely to be 100%. If you let them just watch and skip around, you might see that at certain points it falls off, or they don't ever, very few people actually complete the videos. As we go down, you'll see engagement per user. This is just a test course, so there's not a lot there, but this will show you each student. It'll show you this bar when you drop down, and you click view this part twice, view that once. They didn't view this whole entire section. They viewed it again. So you can kind of see where students are at. This is good for 2 reasons. One, if a student's struggling and saying, hey, I'm watching all the videos, you can kind of go and confirm that for yourself. The other thing that it's good for is, are there certain parts that are getting skipped over that maybe are proving not to be very useful? Students are still doing well, but they're skipping over stuff. Maybe that's a video you can condense down and remove some of that information. Or maybe you're seeing parts where students are going back and watching a certain segment multiple times. Maybe that part needs to be expanded upon, or maybe that becomes its own video because you need to go into some more detail. So that can give you some feedback sometimes as to what students are thinking, or at least give you a starting point. And then down here, you can just kind of see performance over time. So how many impressions over the course of, roughly a year, plays. You can go through and click. This is where completion rates and the drop-off rates, just kind of see like at what point. So, this one's saying the average drop-off was about 50%. So they got partway through. So they can give you some information, and you can even go down and look at, date by date, who watched it. So there are people watching this at the beginning of a chapter, at the end. You could get a lot of detailed information there that you could use for a variety of things. So that's just a way to look at analytics for videos, give yourself some insights as to how students are taking in the content. The last item I want to show is how do students use Kaltura. Within Canvas, students can record videos and assignments, but often those are limited by file size. So just like your My Media is connected to your account, they have a My Media connected to their accounts as well. So let's say we wanted to do some sort of assignment where we wanted to allow the students, or require the students, to submit a video. Go ahead and create an assignment. I'm going to give it a name, and then any instructions you obviously put in. So I want to go in and then make sure I have online selected, and then I want to allow for text entry. set up all my settings as I normally would. Save, publish if you need to. This one's already published. And then again, we can flip over to student view real quick, and you'll see when they go to start assignment, they can choose text entry. And then they also have the Kaltura embed option in theirs. So any videos that they had created would show up. This test account doesn't have anything here yet, so you're not going to see anything, but they would select the video as usual. There is also a video in the student Canvas playlist that shows them how to access the My Media section and create a video, download, capture, and go through that whole entire process. One thing you will need to do to make that possible, however, is in your course, make sure you've updated the course navigation to include the My Media option. So again, if you just go to settings and navigation, just make sure that My Media is enabled. Again, when they click My Media, they won't see anything that has to do with any of your videos because that is your media. Their My Media, when they open it, first will be blank, and then any videos they make for any course would also be in their My Media section. And that can be done in an assignment, that can be done in a discussion. Options are completely and totally up to you, but it is possible for students to use the My Media as well. And it does work a lot better than trying to use the native record feature that is located inside of Canvas. Hopefully this video helps you to understand a few more options that you have with Kaltura and how they can make your course a little more interactive. If you have any questions, as always, you can reach out to a member of the TLDE team. We are located in L160 down the hall from the library in the main building. We're always happy to help. Have a great day.